I'm Leo Stevenson, and I'd like to share my experiences with the Ukrainian refugees with you. Like most of you, the war in Ukraine really infuriates me. To think that Putin could invade a sovereign country is unbelievable. Think of this. Last year, February 23rd, a Ukrainian mother comes home from her law office. Her children are at the kitchen table doing homework. Her husband comes home from work, and they start dinner together. She calls and talks to her mother. The kids watch TV before the family goes to bed. Then, the early morning of February 24th, she is awakened by bombs exploding, Russian soldiers running down her street. Her mother phones hysterically. Her father has been abducted, and her best friend was murdered. Later that day, her husband takes a gun from the closet and told her he was summoned to fight the Russians hundreds of miles away. Scared, she doesn't know what to do, but needs to do something. She gathers her children. She tries to convince her mother to no avail, to leave. Where? She doesn't know, but she gets on a train with millions of others and ends up in Warsaw. This is where I saw this woman and her children. When the war broke out, I knew I needed to do something to help. I traveled to Moldavia, I traveled to Romania and to Poland to see what I could do. The millions who left Ukraine ended up in gymnasiums on hundreds of mattresses, crammed one on top of another. But they were safe with their children. Organizations were passing out blankets and providing food, which was needed, but very short-lived relief. One group, however, the Pallottines, had a long-term vision to assimilate these women and children into the Polish culture and help the mothers, the grandmothers, and the children start a new life. In Ukraine, these women had careers, they had homes, families, churches, but now they had nothing to return to. The Pallottines secured an old seminary and used all their funds to start renovating it into small apartments. They brought in career counselors for the women to land new jobs. The city of Oswald donated a school for the children to learn Polish before entering the main school system. The Pallottines partnered with a world-class therapist to help the mothers and children cope with their terrors. The Polish government is donating meals. The Pallottines have assisted hundreds of women and children escape the terrible conditions in the gymnasiums, giving them some sanctity of a small apartment. But naturally, much more needs to be done. The Pallottines have secured other buildings across Poland and Ukraine to convert into housing for those who have lost everything due to Putin. A dollar goes a long way in Eastern Europe, and $1 million has been raised from Pallottine funds and individual donations. Yet so much more is needed as the war continues and as reparations take place once the war ends. To me, this is a foundational effort. I can envision 20 years from now, these Ukrainian refugee children are then young adults. They're lawyers, doctors, school teachers, and they speak of the people, you and me, who they never met, but donated to help give them and their mothers some sanity from this brutal war and start a new life. These women are not asking for handouts. Everything they had was taken from them. They simply seek a helping hand in starting a new life. Every little bit we could donate today is foundational in helping future generations.